Hey everybody, I'm Jill Redfern and welcome to Third Shift Movement Shop, home of literal technique. In this tutorial, we're going to do a combination that I call Extension Lullaby, and it's a lullaby because it's in 3/4 time. So this combination is going to extend the vertebrae. Extension takes the vertebrae behind the body, takes the torso behind the body. We're going to extend the vertebrae using only the thoracic vertebrae, so the lumbosacral joint will stay neutral throughout the extension. The thoracolumbar joint is going to form the bottom of the extension. We also have to take into consideration in extension the flexion or extension of the skull. And if you remember, the skull is at C1, cervical vertebrae 1, attaches, forms a joint with the occipital bone of the skull. That joint is called the atlanto-occipital joint. And atlanto comes from the word atlas, which is what C1 is referred to as, is the atlas. That bone is the atlas, as in Atlas holding the weight of the world on his shoulders. So the atlanto-occipital joint is going to also have to stay neutral in the extension. So we've got our awareness on 3 joints now. Muscle work. The Erector Spinae are the extensors. Remember, the Erector Spinae are found all the way up here behind the skull on each side, all the way down into the sacrum, all the way down. They're the primary movers of the back, and they are primary extensors. In our group of 7 muscles that are central to alignment, the Erector Spinae are the extensors. The 4 abdominals, the rectus ab is not an extensor. It only flexes the vertebrae forward. But what it does do is put the brakes on the extension so that we don't hyperextend and crunch the vertebrae. The transversus and the 2 obliques are major stabilizers. Transversus is a stabilizer, the deep stabilizer that we want to use, but the obliques are also going to serve as stabilizers in extension. The lats also serve as stabilizers in extension. The pec majors don't have a role in extension other than to help us keep this part of the upper body open so that we aren't rounding in. We want to keep those muscles open and not contracted where they connect to the sternum. So that's the muscle work you're going to think about. So this is a combination that is in rotated first position. It stays in rotated first position. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our arms out to the side and our elbows bent, palms down, as if we're pushing down on something. That'll help you also keep the rib cage stable and not popped up. We've got our anatomical curves right now. We've got neutral joints at the atlanto-occipital, at the thoracolumbar, and the lumbosacral joint. They're all neutral. When we do take the extension, let me turn to the side for you. When we do the extension, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arms forward so that they stay parallel to the floor. Again, think of that as pushing down to help keep the rib cage neutral. My skull, that joint is neutral, and I'm only extending from in the thoracic vertebrae. Notice the lumbosacral joint stays neutral, and then we're going to come back up. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so in your class this week, There are probably many opportunities for you to practice extension in the thoracic vertebrae, just the thoracic vertebrae. But if you're doing extensions in your class that are going further down into the lumbar vertebrae, remember you still want to focus on a neutral lumbosacral joint. You do not want to capsize the vertebrae onto each other. You want to keep the vertebrae having space between them, even if you're taking your extension further down toward the pelvic barrel. The pelvic barrel also has to remain neutral, and that's going to require use of the transversus. Remember, transversus is our deep stabilizer. Sides of the body, you're going to feel the waist narrow, and you're going to feel contraction down in here that's going to keep that pelvic barrel from doing that. That's going to be really important during an extension. Okay, I'll see you next week.